Good day and welcome to the Wealth Snowball. I did have a little action today on this Tuesday, July 2nd, 20 and the 24, coming to you live from the farm fields of Valparaiso, Indiana. We'll get to the big board in a minute in the portfolio. So we're still, just scraping by, waiting for the four sweethearts, the four horsemen to take off in our advantage. That would be gold, silver, oil, and a Bitcoin. So what we did today was oil has been working in our favor the last, probably week and a half. So I thought I'm going to take a little action off the table on UCO, which is a 2 times bull on the U.S. oil fund. And then I've got an idea of where to place some of that money. But I wanted to take a look at the trade, and I'm looking at it live right here with you. So on May 10th, of this year, I did buy 2,000 shares at 31.11. Spent $62,210 dollar bills, and then it immediately went down. Wow, wow, wow! You know how I do. I like to buy high, sell low. So a week later, that's how long I had to wait. Sold a round of calls with a strike of $33.50. Did put $800 into my Holly Hobby Velcro wallet, and then had to wait a bit more. So those expired. I think those were like 2 weeks out. Those expired at full profit. And then I waited a little longer. June 20th, sold another round at $34 strike, put another $800 into my skinny jeans. And I was like, hey, I like that. The cash flow. Because money rule number 2, cash flow is king, cash is queen, and debt is the debt is the joker. So today, that is July 2nd, I did sell 2,000 shares at 35 per for $70,000. Now, currently, I look like some sort of a genius, and we know that's not the case, right, Bart? Yeah, we certainly know that. I prove that all the time on this channel. But if you look up here, I sold at 35 today, and what has it done since then? Well, it's around this candle right here. Yep, right there, and then it's just gone downtown to Chinatown. So at the very moment, I look like a genius. So I'll take it while I can, right? But let's run some numbers. So where's our abacus? Beep, boop, boop. Let's get the abacus out here. And so we did $70,000 is what we sold for. We spent $62,210 for a total of $77.90. Okay, so let's add those up with the built-in abacus here in the sheets on the Google. So there's $9,390 that we profited. Now, what does that look like as far as return on the investment? So let's get out the abacus again right here. And let's first figure out how many days we were into it. So that's 21 plus 30s, 51, 53 days. 53 days in the trade. Collected a couple dollar bills. Let's put some color on that. What do you say? I like to use blue there. Maybe even give it the old bold. All right. So for 53 days, in less than 2 months, I made $9,390 in this position. But what does that equal for? Is that the dog knocking? Is the dog? Get the dog knock on the door. Hold on one second. Let me look. And we're back. And it was not Stella Bella knocking on the door. It must have just been a ghost or something. Heard a weird noise again. I'm getting scared. Stella, come protect me. All 10 pounds of you. All right, 93.90 is our number. Let's put that into the works here. Say. Wait, yeah. 90. Let's put the math up. You should just try to organize this before you go live. I know, but what are you going to do? 90. Let's divide that by the 62,210 invested. Let's divide that by the number of days, and then let's multiply it by 365 to give us an annualized return. So let's do it live. Let's pull out the abacus again, see what we come up with. So $9,390 divided by the invested amount of $62,210 divided by the days in the trade of 53, and then multiplied by 365 to give us an annualized 103% return. Hello. Let's even round it up because that's what it was at. 104 because we like the number 4. Why? Well, it's part of the number of my favorite player of all time. I mean, it's the number of my favorite player in football of all time, Brett Favre, number 4, but it's also the second half of the number on the jersey of my favorite baseball player of all time, and maybe the greatest of all time, and that's Rickey Henderson, number 24. So there's it's a lot. You just ramble on about whatever you want. I kind of do, and I think that I'm okay with that. What do you guys think? Are you okay with not 1%? You son of a gun. It's 104%. Oh, the antics that just goes on around here. 104% annualized return, not actual return. So that's very nice. So took some risk off the table. Probably going to put some more on. Currently look like a genius in that trade because UCO is trading at 34.65, and I just sold it. Feels like 3 seconds ago, probably 15 minutes ago for 35. So I like that. In the meantime, though, I'm looking at all my other sweethearts are just going wow, 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 shoots and ladder down into the gutter. So there's the UCO move, and again, we put 70,000 fresh back into the coffers. Let's go to the big board just to see, am I in the 2000s? Let's get into the hot tub time machine and find out right here in the no, you've taken so you started the day. He's like, hey, we're up here. It was almost modern times, 2023. And then, oh boy, back down here, 1994. What were like the number one movies in 1994? Let's see, best movies of 1994. Let's see if we've seen the majority of these that make the top of the list. Legends of the Fall, of course. Interview with the Vampire, of course. The Specialist, no, I don't recall that. 8 Seconds. Obviously about a rodeo. I didn't see that. Little Giants. Yeah, that's a sports movie. Pulp Fiction. Okay, there we go. That is probably my number 2 favorite movie of all time. Number 1 would be A Few Good Men. Number 2, Pulp Fiction. And number 3, A Friday. So there's our look at 1994. Because I know you wanted to see that. Let's go back to the board. We're down here, up to 1995. We got the GDX 3350 put on the board, currently taking a little bit of gas. GDX is at 3369. I think we still got a little bit lower action in GDX, but by the end of next week, this put should be just tossing cash flow into the pocketbook. We're in the green again, finally again, on Devon. As I said, we've got some cooperation going on in the oil. So Devon is specifically at 47.83, some $347 in the green. PBF still making my way back to you, babe. That's PBF Energy, another oil company. Unity, don't even get me started. AGQ doing good there. That's Silver Bull. And then you see a bunch of red positions and still doing good on SLV, Silver ETF. But all of these, I'm not concerned. I know it's been dragging on longer than I would have anticipated, and it makes, for some boring videos when there's not much action. At Norwegian Cruise Line, I knew I should have sold some covered calls on that when it was up to like 1850. Let's look at the 5 day or the 1 week on here. I know it was close to 1850. Let's see how close. Oh, 19. Were you asleep when that happened? Probably. No, that was yesterday. So yesterday we had a pool party at a friend's house. Had a couple of some friends in from Seattle with their daughters. So we went and visited with a bunch of people over there. Had an amazing time. Then tomorrow, my brother having a pool party. And then the 4th, our friends Jeff and Casey having a pool party. Then, and only then, will I begin my shredding diet. Got to shred off this fat like a layer of, like a fat suit. Oh, here's the dog barking now, probably chasing the ghost that's trying to get me. So Norwegian Cruise Line, we'll give that another opportunity to come back up before we make our move on it. I should have obviously sold some covered calls when it was close to 19, but it is what it is. DocuSign still giving me the bitter beer face. Trying to be patient. It made its way all the way up to 60, and it's currently, then it went all the way downtown to Chinatown to like 50. Now it's at 54.67. So I will wait patiently for that. But I have, those are like my least favorite that I, can get rid of at any time, but also not concerned. Like Norwegian Cruise Line, this is the time. They're going to be making some money this summer. DocuSign, very solid company. There could at any time be another bidder for that company, which then for sure rockets the share price back up. What was the other one I wanted to show you that just like slapping me silly? Oh, Biddo. That brilliant idea has gone south quick. Biddo currently $9,400 down, and I got a bigger position in Stacy's account. Don't look, honey. Don't open your app. But again, what's the outlook for the rest of the year for Bitcoin? I think it still has it could have some lower low action, like lower low action. But overall, I'm not concerned at all. What's it currently at? Let's refresh this. A Bitcoin is at, you just left the page. It was 61 and change, 61,829. So it's down 1.67 or 1.65% today. But I'm looking at, again, I said it before, I'll say it again. I'm looking at 85 to 100,000 Bitcoin before the end of the year, which means Biddo will be making me feel real good inside. That is a little bit of the update going on. I'm still obsessed with baseball cards and sports. You probably know that. I'm thinking about including some more of that action on this channel, but I'm also thinking it's not going to be good for the algorithm. And at the same time, I'm not sure that it bothers me. I'm not trying to build any type of YouTube empire. I just try to be here for you as a friend, give you something to look at that is probably 32% entertaining, 68% foolish and boring. But there's going to be a time in this year where you're going to be watching this portfolio just skyrocket, and you're going to be like, okay, that's what he was talking about the whole time. In the meantime, though, as I'm sitting on my hands working with more, baseball cards like this 1987 Mark McGwire, the wood panel card is very iconic. Maybe I'll share some more of that with you. The coin roll hunting, if you've been watching any of that I'm really having a good time just doing. It's just for fun, just for fun. And it's basically like a cost zero hobby. I got friends that golf and fish and ski and hunt and do all those things, and they spend thousands, snowmobile, spend thousands and tens of thousands of dollars. With my baseball card hobby, I don't spend that much because I do buy and sell to buy, if that makes any sense. I just try to buy low, sell high in order to own cards that I want for my PC, which stands for personal collection. So as I sit here and wait for this portfolio to do what it's for sure going to do, I need to keep myself busy because, as you know, I never get bored and I don't have any FOMO. The main reason I never get bored is I've always got stuff going on. Just fascinating stuff, like looking at baseball cards and watching Formula One, contemplating the draft pick of Bronny James to the Lakers in the second round. I think, they're getting a lot of flack for choosing LeBron James's son. That's a waste of a pick. I mean, come on. The LeBron James and his son are going to be on the same basketball court in the NBA next year. Reminds me of my friends Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr., who in 1990, I was watching the game down at the Harvard of the Midwest, Vincennes University. Me and my buddies, I was at one of my friends' houses, like a frat house, watching the game. There's like 5 of us paying attention. The rest of them are trying to chase girls around. And Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. went back-to-back home runs. And I will tell you, I'll be honest with you, had a little bit of a tear in my eye. Speaking of which, I was looking at this earlier. This picture it has to be owned by me soon. I've looked at this 1,000 times in my life. And I know this is the part where you can just tune off if you have no interest in this type of activity, but it's just me and you being friends. Look at this picture. I mean, I laugh thinking of it because I've stared at it so many times in my life. And for some reason, I don't have a big version of this. I mean, this is an 8x10, so it's not big enough. So I'm going to actually begin to actively look for this picture. But I mean, look what I'm talking about here. That's Willie Mays. Yeah, Willie Mays, who just recently passed away. One of the maybe top three, probably top three all time. Babe Ruth, Barry Bonds, Willie Mays. Obviously, my top one is Ricky Henderson, but the real top three would probably be those three gentlemen. Willie Mays was an honorary captain this year. But I mean, just look at, I mean, that's Michael Jack Schmidt. Hello, Hall of Fame. Greg Luzinski, very entertaining. Steve Garvey should be in the Hall of Fame. Johnny Bench, one of the best catchers of all time. Tommy Lasorda, Hall of Fame. Sparky Anderson, Hall of Fame. The Dave Parker, the Cobra, should be in the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose, the Hit King. Charlie Hustle, of course, should be in the Hall of Fame. Ron Say, the Penguin. Joe Morgan, Hall of Fame. And I modeled my early wiffle ball batting stance and style after him. He was left-handed. I'm left-handed. He would kind of like cock that left arm when he was up to bat waiting for the pitch, which was kind of like it looked like he was trying to kickstart a Harley. Don Sutton, Hall of Famer. Steve Carlton, Hall of Famer. One of the best pitchers of all time that nobody talks about, the Candyman, John Candelaria. That is Big Dave Winfield, Hall of Fame. Dave Concepcion, Tom Seaver, Hall of Fame. I think that's I'm pretty sure that's Rick Russell. You know, I'm a big Cubs fan. I think that's Rick Russell right there. Speaking of King Griffey, there's King Griffey Sr. His name of Vainsby right now, Valentine. I can't think of his Elliot Valentine, I think. Morales for the Cubbies. There's George Foster, Manny Trio. I can't even think of his name right now. Of course, I know. There's Ted Simmons, Cedeno. I think that's Goose Gossage right there. I'm pretty sure that's Hall of Famer Goose Gossage hiding in the back. He played for a number of teams in his time. But there we go. Should I share some of my passion for sports and football and baseball cards? Leave it in the comment below and make sure it says yes. But thanks for tuning in. We'll take one more look here, see if we're still taking gas. We are just under $4,000 down today, 1994 in the Hot Tub Time Machine. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, share with a lovable friend, and I'll see you. That's win in the next video.